Okay, welcome back. As you can see, we've got the microphone problem fixed, at least temporarily, so you can hear me. If this thing cuts out, I'm going to try to keep an eye up here, and if this thing cuts out, I will see if I can make the adjustment if I see it. But we are playing the SGT Tour. This is going to be the SGT Tees, and we are off round number 1 from Riviera, playing from the 6,400 yard tees, playing at 11 stimp meter and calm winds. Here we are at number 1, elevated 8 feet 5 inches. Let's try to smooth one out there. And that pushed a little bit, but not terribly. Should still be the fairway finder. Just a little sawed off is all, but that's okay. Good start. Here we are, 235 yards out on number 1. And I'm a little confused because I played the web tour and it showed par 71, but then the scorecards on the scoreboard showed 72. So anyway, I thought I was 6 under for that tournament in the web tour, but as it turns out, it was 8, which is the clubhouse lead for now, but there's a lot of good players still to play. So 232 yards, we should probably even aim a little more to the left because you've probably seen me play this, and it's a little bit more extreme. So let's see if we can get this 3-wood up close. See what some kind of start we can get off to. Oh, and that's a bad shot. You need to sit down. Not that sit down. All right, well, okay, it was a 3-shot par 5 almost no matter what there, but that was a real poor showing, wasn't it? So uphill, 6 feet 9 inches. Breeze is not really going to do anything to us. We're not going to worry too much about that. We try not to hit it so fat this time. Goodness gracious, that was a bad looking shot. Uphill 90 yards. Try to finesse it in there. And that's just a hair deep, but it'll still be a putt at it. 16, 18 footer or so. Not a ton of movement to it. It's an 11 stimp. It's not really moving at all to the left, so it looks like maybe it's a double breaker, but it's not. It's moving entirely in that direction. And it's creeping about that much, right? I think it's going to be a hair more than that. And we're going to see if it'll break that much over the course of the whole putt. Let's get that cursor out of there. You can't see it as big as I do, but there we go. And downhill 6 inches. Right through the break, down the hill. I hit it on line. You can see that from the 0.0 degrees horizontal launch angle, but I hit it just a little firm and through the break, and now I've got this little comebacker for par. We're not going to give too much up here, about there, and just make sure we hit this straight. We're in for our par. Probably hit that just a little firm, but in for our par on the short par 5. And now we're playing another par 4, but this was one of the trick ones, was on the scorecard, on the scoreboard for SGT. This was being listed as a par 5, so I'm not really sure. Let's see. There we go, a little better drive. That'll get out in the middle, it should. It's going to leave one up the hill here, 210 yards or so, uphill 7 feet. The wind is moving just a hair to the left, but not really worried about that too much. Just going to try to hit one straight up there. It's going to fade off to the right, just a hair on me. We actually like that if it's a par 5 here, but I don't think it is, but I don't know. It shows par 4 up here. Like I said, on the scoreboard, it shows par 5. How about going in? Just missed it. All right, we'll take the par there. Move on to number 3. Downhill 17 yards, so it'll make it play shorter than that 394. A little guided, as you can see, short-armed, but it's in the middle of the fairway, and it came down the hill enough that it's going to run out pretty good. So have a decent look at it. Downhill 9 feet 6 inches, a little bit of wind behind us, and I think this is a well hit 8-iron, but emphasis on well hit. Let's put it in there, and that should be it. I guess it peeling off a little bit to the right, but big bounce for a guy. Trickle down there a little bit. I guess I'm begging now. Let's see if we can hit something. Just threw it and probably could have read it a little higher up the hill, but I also pulled it. You can see that a little bit. 0.2 degrees. All right, downhill 11 feet, 192 yards. We're going to put the smooth safety 7 wood. And that's not the safety ball at all. But, I mean, it's safe, so I'm not going to complain. It's on the green. We're putting. Microphone still appears to be working. Appreciate those of you joining me. Let's get this long lag putt up somewhere close and get the heck out of here. Good speed, good read. I'll get out of there with the lag. Don't expect to make those, that's for sure. 413-yard par 4. Little dog leg left, which means I'll be at the right elbow. Or I'll hit it a little straighter than usual, down the left side and flirt with the tree line, but not hit it there, cut off a little distance, but not have the short grass. You know, it's all trade-offs out here, in here, over here, down here. I don't know. All right, 177, a little bit of wind. I think this is actually a 5-iron because this rough is a little heavier, is what I've noticed so far. I smothered that. All right, some more leaning on the short game. That is one of 2 primary misses for me. Unfortunately, that one's left and the other's right. So here we go, 22 yards up the hill a little bit. All right, that gets into the gimme range. We'll move on to the par 3 here. And this one's slightly uphill at 5 feet, 146. Wind not really doing anything. We're going to try to hit a controlled 7-iron in there. And we're going to instead smother that too. But it's going to play all right. Just not going to get all the way back there. It's going to leave a fairly long lag putt. Moves at the very end about that much, right? I think so. Uphill. A little more than 2 screens. And that is too hot. Slow down. Left myself way too much coming back at it. Not moving a ton, but it's definitely moving. 7 feet 11 inches and down the hill 1 inch. It's not moving that much. I'd say it's moving that much. I'm giving it up confidently. All right, we're in for the par. Hanging tough. Par is a good score out here for me. I will continue to try to grind. Microphone check 1, 2. It's working. So let's get out here with the driver and one of these shorter par 4s and see if we can turn it into a little an opportunity. Definitely got to get to the left side of this fairway. And that is not the left side of the fairway. It's good enough though. Leaves me a little longer iron than I wanted in there. Uphill 4 yards and 164. I think I'm going to be conservative. Left knee's barking just a little bit these days, so we're going to be conservative and hit the 6-iron up there. Now it's tugged a little bit left. And some more short game work to do. Okay, let's say the gimme range. And we come to number 8. Shorter par 4. We're even par for the round, even par for the tournament on the SGT Tour, SGT tees. Uh-oh, I faded, sliced, blocked. Not even going to get over there anywhere. This is terrible. There is not really any chance of hitting the green. This started off as a short hole, but we're going to try to have to play the 7-wood and hope it gets all the way up out of the heavy stuff. Okay, well, gets out there a little bit at least. Now we've got more wedge leaning on to do. Let's see here. Oh, short. Not well hit at all. That needed to get way further back there, so we're going to give one up to par, it's looking like. Let's see if we can drain a big bomb. Wow, still needed more read than that even, so we're out of there with a bogey. 1 over for the round, 1 over for the tournament. And that probably happened there because I didn't fetch my tee, which I like to do after hitting the tee ball. So let's get back to work on number 9 here and see if we can keep one in the fairway here. No, we can't. Okay, well, that was an ugly swing. Now we're uphill 9 yards, out of the rough. Wind a little bit in our face. We're going to push this up here and know that we're going to have to fade it in there, if anything. And going to take some spin off, but also probably a little bit of distance. Let's see. All right, 26 yards. Let's try to be a little better about the short game here. Wow, am I leaving a lot of trouble for myself with this putt. And he steals a par there because that was a big bomb and curve that I hit for the putt. Let's see if we can do anything more on the back 9 here. We got a little bit of a short par 4. No real great wind, but it's down the hill a little bit. So let's just see if we can aim right there and make something happen here. That's not going to fade enough. Okay, it'll leave us a little chip here, but can't see, but I know I'm not blocked by the trees. It's just blocking the camera. So we're 34 yards. Five feet 10 inches uphill. Oh, and I didn't even get it up there again. That, you know, the grass here is heavier, and I'm just not making good adjustments. So let's go up and down for par and get out of here. All right, out of there with par. Let's go to the next hole, a par 5. Number 11. Uphill by 12 yards, pretty straight away, fairly narrow. All right, we're found in the straight part here. Not a ton of spin on it, so it should be pretty good. Down the middle, it's always a 3-shot par 5 with me, of course. And on that note, let's get properly aimed so that we can end up in the fairway. And that's going to block off to the right and not be in the fairway. Well, I don't want to go aiming more than that, but okay, well, just barely into the rough. That brings the sand wedge into play as the iron here. All right, no, we're going to still have to putt it, but it's a pretty short putt and pretty straight putt. So this could get us back to even here. 5 foot 1 inch. Okay. In for the birdie, back to even par for both the round and the tournament. This is an interesting short par 4 for me here. I don't think I have to worry about anything because I don't think I'm long enough to get all the way there. I am sure not. So we're going to aim back here somewhere and let that play. Favor the uphill side, let it come back down. Well, I didn't follow my own advice, but it's not blocked off terribly. No harm done. And a short iron in, probably about even. Downhill 3 feet 1, a little bit of wind behind me. And I think this is just, the way I'm hitting it today, this is probably just a good, soft, smooth 9-iron. Like that. Oh, and it almost goes in. I'll take the birdie, though, that's for sure. Okay. There we go. A little bounce back. -1 for the tournament. -1 for the round. Let's see what waits us out here. It's pretty straightforward. Slight dogleg left, but let's just get out there far enough. That should hang off to the right side of the fairway and be okay. Not very hard hit or anything, but she's in the fairway. Rolling out just a hair. Leaving 166 and down the hill, a little bit of wind. I do not like trying to overswing my 7-iron there, which is what I think I'd normally do. So let's try to kind of do with this 6-iron what we did with that 9-iron on the last hole. Nope, I'm going to smother that. But since I hit more club, it won't be terrible. Won't get all the way up there, but it won't be awful. So let's try to chip one in real quick and really steal one. Won't roll out all the way. Okay. 164 down the hill. 4 yards. I think this is probably where that 7-iron probably comes into play. Let's see. Yes. Oh, it's not going to fade though. Hit the right distance though, right? Ooh, okay. Well, thought that might kick right for me, but again, not above begging. 12 yards. Gonna have to hit the putt coming back. That's okay because it's real short. Just got to hit this straight and make sure we don't pull it is all. There's the one. He's in for par. Going to 15 at 1 under for the round, 1 under for the tournament. This one's a little dogleg right that I've been overcutting of late. Let's see if we can get one out here in the right angle. Well, that one didn't cut at all, so I guess I corrected that. But there's room for it, I think. maybe not. So now we're going down the hill, 196. The wind is helping my predominant miss. So we're going to hit the 7, wouldn't trust it. And I hit it a little fat. All right, some more wedge work over here. All right, into the gimme zone, a little more better focus on that pitch. And downhill 10 feet 4 inches. I think we're going to just smooth the 7-iron, not overswing it. Oh, and that's what happens. That's the risk I take when I do that. All right, well. All right, into the gimme zone to stay at 1 under. Here at number 17. This is a 3-shot par 5 for me. Pretty much straight away. Wind is hurting a little bit, but we're going to try to not even worry about that. And we're going to fade that ball off again because that's the miss. And I can't get clear of it today, so won't go in the bunker. Doesn't really matter. 3-shot par 5. Hopefully we're in a good place for 3-wood, which I think we are. And coming out of the rough a little bit though, and so it's going to hopefully run out. All right, well, just don't hit that well usually, but especially today. So uphill 11 feet 10 inches, wind in my face just a hair. I think, all things considered, this is the 7-iron. Ooh, and we got a miss, huh? We got a no read right there is what that looked like. Dang it, I hit that pretty well. Let's see if we can repeat it. And I blocked that one. Okay, stick around there. I got to go up and down now. Gonna roll out, or you're gonna have to putt it. Gonna still have to putt it. Okay, it doesn't move at least, so. All right, steal that par as well and come to the long par 4 18th, needing to finish strong. Is that going to stay fairway bound? No, hit the path then. Thank you. Okay, well, got a little help from the car path. I needed it. So let's see up here if I can reach this. I don't think I can out of the rough. It'll be pretty tough. That all the way up there. And we're going to have to put a charge into it. Just don't see it happening. All right, well, in the neck up there, and let's see if we can get the short game strong to finish. Okay, that's a good finish. I like that. Appreciate you joining me for that first round. Let's see what the stats look like. 2 birdies and a bogey, only 23 putts. That's good. Didn't hit a lot of fairways, didn't hit a lot of greens, played in 25 minutes. Averages speeds are a little bit lower than usual. I'm going to come back again and play the second round right after this. I'm going to cut this off and archive this one over at YouTube, which, as I mentioned, that's what I'm doing. Check me out at YouTube at Herschel G. Like and subscribe, and I'll keep uploading these videos of all my tournaments. In addition, some helpful hints for your simulator, your launch monitor, your computer, your everything. Let's figure it all out together. Thanks for joining me again. I will see you very soon. Here I am Herschel G. This is the Barefoot Bunker, and we'll see you again very soon.